You know... Oh, God. You know, I haven't reviewed a video game in so long. And I don't usually review them anymore because I just like playing them. You know, that's just what I like to do. I don't like reviewing games as much as I like playing them, so I just don't do it. But when I play a game like this, Ghostbusters, the video game from 2016, or whatever the hell it wants to call itself, it just says Ghostbusters on the front. Look, it just says fucking Ghostbusters. When I play this piece of shit, I have to make a video and talk about it and tell you why this game is one of the worst fucking games I've ever played in my life. And that is so sad, considering the Ghostbusters brand, in my opinion, has been so tarnished this fucking year because of that movie that came out, which admittedly I didn't hate. It was okay at best. But man, oh man, leading up to that movie, it was a mess. And this movie had to go and take what was already tarnished and just curb stomp it so fucking hard and destroy it. This game is more offensive than that movie, than the marketing of that movie, than Sony deleting comments on the trailers for the movie that was coming out to save face or whatever. Like, this is more offensive than anything. This is a fucking pile of shit, and Activision put their fucking name on it, and I don't understand why. What the fuck? This game sucks. What else do I have to say? This game has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. The only thing that is good about this game is the Ghostbusters theme song. That's literally it. But even that gets repeated over and over and over again. I click on the start menu. Guess what? I start the game, it starts playing the Ghostbusters theme again. I go to the character select, guess what? It's fucking repeating the Ghostbusters theme. I'm sitting here listening to the fucking stupid ass dialogue from these new Ghostbusters that suck and aren't funny or likable or have any character whatsoever. And guess what? In the background, the fucking Ghostbusters theme is playing. I got sick of that. So you know what? That's not even good. What is good about this game? Nothing. Not a fucking thing. I can't even destroy it because I'm selling it back and getting my money back. Because this should not be bought, played, looked at, fucking touched, breathed on, fucking licked. I don't know why you lick it, but nothing. I shouldn't even, I'm done touching it. I'm not going to hold it anymore. It's a fucking pile of shit, and I hate it. But of course, it's a review, so I need to tell you why I think it's so bad. I mean, I already did everything, but I guess I should explain it more. And while I was playing it, I took long breaks while playing it because, this game has some of the longest levels I've ever played. Maybe it's because it was so bad. No, it was long. They were like 40 minutes to an hour missions. But because it was so bad, it felt like even longer than that. But I had to take breaks just to write down what I thought was so bad. I wrote positives and positive. Actually, I have two positives, and they're very small. And a lot of negatives. So, let's get to the positives and the negatives, which, by the way, I didn't start writing these positives and negatives down until maybe the second level or the third level or something like that. So, I didn't actually write down that the music was a positive, because by the time I got to the second level and I decided to start writing these positives and negatives down, the music wasn't a positive anymore. It was a detriment. It was a negative every time I listened to it. Most of the time while I was playing this game, I turned the volume down. I put on some other music or a podcast or whatever or anything. I could listen to a bunch of screaming babies. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't know. I could literally listen to anything else. You know, bubbling farts, whatever. I don't give a shit. It would be way better than listening to this game. It's just abysmal. It's so bad. But I did write a couple of positives, and these are so small. You will not believe what I wrote as positives for a game like this. You want to hear the positives? Here's the first one. It's colorful. It's fucking color. I had to write down it's colorful. Actually, I wrote down plus colorful question mark. So I put colorful? That literally, I couldn't think of anything else. Colorful. That's a positive. Here's another positive. Here's my last positive too. The loading screen art is really good. Which it is. The loading screen art is really good. It actually looks like straight up something from a 2D Ghostbusters show. You know, it wasn't 3D art, which everything else in the game is 3D. But it looked good. So whoever did that, I guess the concept art, good job. Now, let's get to the negatives. If you do not know, the Ghostbusters game, or whatever you want to call it, again, it just says Ghostbusters, so I don't know. I guess it's a game. I don't know. I guess you can consider it a game. I wouldn't really. But if you don't know, the new Ghostbusters game takes the obvious bullshit approach to what a Ghostbusters game should be and makes it an isometric twin-stick shooter, pretty much. And that's exactly what it is. It feels nothing like Ghostbusters. You have 4 different characters. None of them have names. I swear to God, none of them have names. They don't have names. So, right there, we're extremely likable. I mean, they have characteristics, or they have things about their character that you can pinpoint. So you could say, hey, the beard guy, or hey, the handsome guy. You have the black girl and the white girl. There you go. Those are their characteristics. You have the black girl, the white girl, the white guy with the beard, and he's big and he looks like a Gears of War character, and you have the handsome dude. They all have a specific gun, which makes no fucking sense considering it's Ghostbusters. They should all have proton packs, but at least they tried to give each character something unique. So if you're playing with 4 people and maybe next level you play as a different character, you'll feel like, oh, this is kind of different. But to be honest, the only gun you want to use is the handsome guy's gun, which is just a machine gun. You have the black girl who has a shotgun. You have the white girl who has double pistols, which, by the way, worst fucking gun in the game. It's so bad. I played all these characters at least once. And then you got the beard guy who has a Gatling gun that takes way too long to load, to load and fire. And it doesn't matter. It does pretty much the exact same thing as the machine gun guy, except the Gatling gun one travels way shorter of a distance. So the machine gunner can shoot very far. The Gatling gun does about the same damage, takes longer to fire, and only travels about half the... It doesn't fucking matter. Why am I talking about this game like it actually matters? But anyway, it's an isometric twin-stick shooter. You go around, you shoot books, you shoot skulls, you shoot zombies, and you shoot these ghosts that kind of look like Slimers, except they're blue, and that's it. Every level is exactly the same. You start from the beginning, you go to the end, you shoot countless ghosts, and sometimes you trap them. And you're going to love this. The way you trap them is actually you do take out your regular proton beam, which actually every character does have the proton beam. You can actually use that as a secondary weapon, but it sucks so much you do not want to use it. The primary weapon is way better for each character, but if you want to have a feeling like you're actually playing a Ghostbusters game sometimes, use the proton packs. It feels better, at least. It might not kill them quicker, but it feels better. But anyway, you can catch ghosts too by using your proton beams and struggling with them a little bit, kind of like the Ghostbusters game from 2009, which at first I was like, okay, here we go, yeah, Ghostbusters. And then you throw down the trap, and guess what you do? Press the A button a lot. Press the A button a lot, get that high score. You can get a multiplier by doing the press the A button a lot and trap the ghost. And guess what? That multiplier doesn't mean shit because the scoring system in this is literally just that. It's a scoring system. It's not an upgrade system where you get points for killing enemies and stuff and you use those points for upgrades. Nope. No, that's not what it is. It's just a high score system. So really, it doesn't matter. You can go through this game and let your AI partners or other friends, if you have any friends that would like to play this game with you, which I have friends, and I didn't even dare to ask them, hey, you want to come over and play fucking Ghostbusters? I did not ask them. This is a game I had to play by myself because I knew there was no way in hell anybody would say. They'd laugh at me. Everybody would laugh at me if I asked them if we want to play a Ghostbusters game. No one wanted to play it. So yeah. I am not kidding when I tell you through every stage of this game, which by the way there's like a dozen stages in this game. There's technically about 7 levels I think, but each one has multiple stages to play through. So, and each one of them takes around 30 to 40 minutes to complete. Maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit less, but that doesn't matter when you have so many of them to do and you're completely bored and pissed throughout all of them. But that's all you do. All you do is shoot ghosts. And that's it. At least the Ghostbusters video game from 2009, it was short. It was a 5-hour game. Each level had a lot of personality put into it. The levels looked great. There's a lot of stuff to do. There's a lot of things to see. A lot of references to the Ghostbusters universe. And you had those characters. You had the characters from the movies voiced by their actors from the movies, and you had all that stuff. It felt like Ghostbusters, and the gameplay was rock solid. And the graphics were great. The graphics for 2009 Ghostbusters is way better than the graphics for this Ghostbusters. And it's 2016 on a brand new fucking console. A brand new next-gen console. It's not even out on 360. I'm surprised this isn't even out on an iPhone. It could literally run on an iPhone. But all you do for about 8 hours, I'm going to assume around 8 hours because there's about 12 or 13 levels and they take about 30 to 40 minutes. All you do is shoot the ghosts, and some of them explode, some of them you have to catch. And then there's a boss fight, which guess the fuck what you do there. You shoot them until you have to catch them. Some of them, you know, have little things you have to do, like, you know, there's some strategy, the bare minimum of strategy to defeat these bosses. Like, sometimes they'll shoot you with electric, or they have, like, maybe an electric thing that goes in a circle and you have to dodge it. But besides that, it is one of the most generic fucking twin stick shooters I've ever played, and it is one of the most soul crushing. Oh my god, the gameplay is devoid of anything that I would consider entertaining. It is fucking terrible. The humor, oh, okay. This is one thing. The game starts off with a CG cutscene, which looks okay. The graphics are terrible, by the way, but everything looks lifeless and dull. I've already said this, but I want to say it again. But it starts with a CG cutscene, which you never really see again. You don't see another CG cutscene throughout pretty much the entire game. And it looked okay, but man, you can even see my reaction. I did a shit games done quick for this. Man, the first 5 minutes, there's like 8 ghost puns. And you immediately hate the characters, because first of all, I like a good pun, but the puns are terrible.
They're still out there making supernatural herstory. Check this photo they just sent.
Holy trap. I recognize
what's with
those
the fucking
ghosts
puns?
They're all famous assassins.
Herstory?
Haunting the White House?
Don't worry. Before they come back, we'll get our chance to vaporize vengeful Class 4 apparitions too.
When you gonna call?
Guys, turn on the news, quick! There's something strange, right here, in the neighborhood.
You better not be sweating because
It's what the trap is going on, because they use ghost traps, and a character comes in. Hey guys, there's something strange happening right here in the neighborhood. I'm like, oh my fuck, I'll hang myself right here. Holy shit. It was so abysmal. I'm not kidding. It's really bad, the humor. And the characters are completely devoid of personality or a name. They don't even have names. And it's just a straight up terrible arcade shooter with terrible dialogue that you'll hear throughout the entire game. Every level, it's the same generic one-liner that they'll spew out when they catch a ghost or they shoot a ghost. I don't even remember. I'm the king of PKE or something like that. They'll just say these random one-liners that they'll repeat over and over again throughout each of the levels. And I really did have to turn down the volume. I'm not kidding when I said that. I really did turn down the volume. I could not stand it anymore. I couldn't. And when I don't want to hear what the characters say in anything related to Ghostbusters, you know you're fucked up. At least the movie, the new one, at least it had some characters I didn't mind listening to. You know, some jokes that were kind of funny. Kinda. This game, if you hated that new movie, play this game, because you'll have a much more, you'll appreciate it much more. And it being a terrible game, just absolutely awful, soul crushing, just makes you wish games didn't exist. That's not even the worst of it. The worst of it is that the game is so poorly made that there are tons and tons of fucking glitches that actually stop your progression. So if you're forcing yourself to get through this, like forcing yourself to eat shit, then there's gonna be times where something just stops you. Out of nowhere, my character, like 3 times in the same level, just stopped walking. Like, all I could do was turn him around, like spin him around, but I couldn't walk him, and like I couldn't move him anymore. And the other Ghostbusters are doing the other work, which I'll give this game this. At least the AI does work. Like, the AI for your other computer-controlled allies actually do stuff in the game, so it's not like they're getting caught on walls or something or whatever. But this glitch, it happened 3 times. I had to reload the game a couple times because it just, my character just stopped and I spin around and I could still shoot and stuff, but I couldn't progress. Another glitch, which by the way, there's plenty of glitches where just stuff stops happening, like ghosts just disappear, which I mean, they're ghosts, I guess that makes sense. But no, they just flicker out and they're gone. But there's another one that stopped my progression where 2 of my Ghostbusters, they just disappeared. I don't know what happened to them. It was me. I was the handsome dude because, I mean, come on, look at me. But no, because he had the best gun. And I had the beard guy with me. And I don't know where the 2 girls just said, fuck it. You know? So, I mean, I guess it turned into OG Ghostbusters because there was nothing but dudes on the screen. But I don't know what happened. They just disappeared. And luckily they did reappear later, but it was, and not that the game's harder, but I mean, it really isn't hard at all. I'm sure I could probably progress through the game by myself without my teammates because it is an extremely easy game. But, like, it still made it so that the game was longer because there wasn't more guns to shoot the ghosts for a good, like, 20 more minutes. It was just glitches like that. There was other glitches too, but those 2 glitches and other glitches in the game just make it so that a shit game is longer and frustrates you even more because they couldn't even get the bare minimum right. This is like the bare minimum of a $50 video game. They couldn't even get that right. Oh my god. What else? I already said the music. The music was shit because, you know, they reused the theme song. But not only that, they actually used some of the... I think it sounded like some of the music from maybe the animated show. Or it sounded like music from the animated show. It sounded like a music that you would hear in a Ghostbusters Saturday morning cartoon. And they used that... Luckily, they don't play the theme song throughout the game when you're playing. Like, it's just repeated over and over again. They play actual orchestral, like, music and stuff like that. And I wouldn't say it was really orchestral, but instrumental and stuff like that. And it's not awful, I shouldn't say that, but listening to it over and over again, it really, like, listening to that and playing the boring gameplay, the music is not eventful, and the gameplay is so boring, you just want to fall asleep. It's so boring. It really is. At one point, don't get me wrong, I have plenty of complaints, but at one point I was just like tired of writing negatives, and I literally just put, I don't even remember putting this, I just literally put fuck this game. That was a negative. One of my negatives was just fuck this game. But I do have another negative. This one, oh my god, I couldn't believe this. I couldn't believe they did this. There is a overheating gun system thing that is happening in this game for the proton packs, meaning that when your gun gets too hot, you can't fire it for a few seconds because it overheats. This is so terrible, considering your gun, at least in the beginning, as you progress, you can actually upgrade with these upgrade things that you find throughout the levels. You don't upgrade with the score system. You actually upgrade by finding things in the environments. I forgot to mention that. But once you like upgrade the overheating thing, it becomes less of a pain later on in the game. But at first, the guns overheat so fucking quick, and the point is to not get your guns to overheat. So when it's getting close, because there's a little bar, when it gets to really red, you stop firing. The thing is that when you stop firing and let the gun cool down, it takes so fucking long for the gun to cool down and get lower so you could fire some more. So you might as well just let the gun overheat, because when it overheats, you can't fire for a few seconds, like it stops you. But after that few seconds, you can fire as much as you want until it overheats again. So either get it close to overheat and then stop, you know, firing for a good like maybe 20 seconds until it's all the way down to where you could shoot some more until it gets to close to overheating again, or just let it overheat, wait like maybe 5 seconds, not even like 3 seconds, and then fire as much as you want. So even the overheating system is broken. But the point is, there shouldn't have been an overheating thing in the first place. It's just there to prolong gameplay for a few more seconds. Oh, I just want to fucking... I want to hurt stuff. I hate this game. I left bite marks in my fucking Uncharted 3 journal that I used to write notes for games and movies about how much I hate them and like them and shit. I hate this game. I hate this game. Overall, the only thing I could think of is positive was it's colorful and the loading screens are good. You know what? The loading screens are even better because I didn't need to play the game while the loading screens were happening. I could sit down, relax, stare at my ceiling, I don't know, contemplate life, maybe think about killing myself, whatever. Anything is better than playing the fucking game. Overall, I can't give this game a score. I mean, I can't give this game points because of those two positives. Colorful, oh, they use their stock colors, you know, they use blues and greens. Big fucking deal. If it was black and white, I'd be surprised. So they use colors. So kids will be like, wow, look at the blues and greens. Who gives a shit? And the loading screen art, whoever did the art should be hired somewhere else because they definitely didn't belong here because they're very talented. Besides that, everything else, literally everything fucking else is dog shit. I can't think of anything else that's decent. Even the upgrade system's shit. It's a disgrace. There's nothing else to this game. On the front of the main menu, like this is the perfect example of how shit and manufactured bullshit this game is. On the front screen, the main menu, it says new game, load game, and legal. Legal is the third thing on the main menu. You know what legal is? You press it and it shows you all the legal information. I don't know what it says. Most likely it says the game fucking sucks, but you can't sue us because of how bad it is. Sorry, suckers, no refund. Most likely that's what it says in there. I didn't read it because who fucking reads those things? But it's abysmal. It's an abysmal game. It's a cash grab made to make people suffer. That's the only way I could think this was made besides to make money. The only other thing I could think of is that it was made to make people suffer. And it did. Thank you, Activision. Thank you for tarnishing your brand even more. After The Walking Dead Survival Instinct, I thought you would take a hint that we don't want these rushed, poorly made licensed games. But I guess you're like, fuck it, we'll just do another one. We'll make more money. Yeah, we're gonna rush this fucking game out and screw the people that buy it. Who gives a shit? They're gonna buy it. They can't get refunds. Once they open the game, they're fucked. They buy it digital, they're screwed unless they buy it Steam. Then in 2 hours you get refunded. Which I hope if you bought it, I hope you bought it on Steam. I hope you bought it in the last week or two, and I hope you only played less than 2 hours. Which most likely, if you played the game, you definitely played less than 2 hours of it. I'm done. I have nothing else to say. The score for this, like, if I had to give it, you know, I'll do for my video game reviews, I'll do a score from 0 to 10. Not my usual 0 to 40 rank. 0 to 10, straight up, this is a 1 out of 10. You know what? No. No. I take it back. It's a 0.5. It's a 0.5 out of 10. And I'll tell you why. It's a 0.5 because of the art and because of the colorful stuff going on. That's it. I could find positives. If I really couldn't dig and find positives, this would get a 0. But for me, it gets a 0.5. It couldn't even muster a point. It's a piece of shit. It is insulting. It's god-awful. And whoever at Activision said to Fireforge Games, the guys that made this, yeah, here you go. Here's 8 months, create a Ghostbusters game, should be fucking fired. Whoever it is, like, I don't know how Activision works, I don't know how game studios work really, but whoever decided that these people needed to work on this game and they only had 8 months to do it, that's how long it actually took to make this game. I'm assuming it's the same guy or a woman that fucking said, yeah, that's a good idea, make Walking Dead Survival Instinct. You only have a few months to do it though, we have to rush that out because more money for us. Whatever, I'm done. Terrible fucking game. I wish I found this on the street somewhere for free so I could take this case right now and just fucking rip it apart. But until next time, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the review. Hope you enjoyed me raging. I had to get it off my chest because I just had all this built up for the last couple weeks. Every time I played it, it was draining my soul out of my fucking body. Anyway, there you go. Thank you. Until next time, goodbye.